Going on, guys? Jeff in here. Monarch on the screen. Azraleen Nelson is my Monarch commander. Only one difference here, and that is going to be for my inspirations. We have for our first inspiration is going to be Megatron, and the second inspiration is going to be Jojard. Quick reason for both of those: Megatron number one. If I didn't have him, it's about an 18-2 range, which isn't bad, but in games like this where you're ended up fighting in legendary matches, things like that, it gives you a little bit of that staying power, that ability to engage and actually be competitive in the legendary tier. Not saying you can't be without it, but it's just nice to be able to, when something's spotted, be able to reach out and send some shells that way. And the Monarch, in my opinion, has decent accuracy, so you can get away with shooting at a longer range and a distance. Second inspiration is Jojard. Obviously, that is because the way that the shell characteristics of this British line are, they don't lend themselves to be very hard hitting if you're angled. Yes, they can do some serious superstructure damage and things along those lines, but to be more punishing on broadside targets and have that little extra pop, I have personally made the decision that Jojard is a better inspiration on there than, say, Cunningham for accuracy, because I think the British line is relatively accurate enough. Not saying that it's this sniper Georgia build, but I do think that in general the British line is accurate enough. And with the reload speed on these guns for Monarch, the ship, I think, does not get the respect that it deserves. I think that with the Azraleen Nelson commander now, this ship becomes significantly more dangerous and significantly more powerful. Previously though, if I was to play this game, I would always play it with Cunningham, or you could play it with, either Cunningham, or you could play it with. So you had that option. Cunningham would give you the damage ability, the range, etc. But you only have the two heals because you have those very, very powerful super heals. And then if you were to be the opposite side and you were to choose Madden, Madden would give you the four heals, but you'd sacrifice quite a bit for it. So now with Monarch and having Azraleen Nelson on here, you basically get best of both worlds. I get the range on the main battery, I get the damage ability, I get the increased AP shell damage, which I already drill bits, I get the firefighter perk because I've made that choice. All of this kind of adds up, and you get the fight fire with fire skill, which reduces fire damage for 10%. I believe it is something like that, 10 or 15%, something along those lines. Don't hold me to it, guys. I don't have the sheet in front of me. I'm just talking off memory here. Like I was saying, so now that you have that option as the commander with the four heals still, you become a very, very dangerous target. And you see there, Riga finds out why the British AP shells are very, very dangerous. Jojard, thank you. So one full salvo took that Riga out. Front turrets took a good chunk, and the back turrets finished her off. So I like the way Monarch plays, and I really, really like the fact that both shell characteristics are extremely, extremely dangerous and need to be respected. Because cruisers, and not as I say that, Worcester, but Worcester, if you look at actually Worcester in the port, you're going to see a ship that is actually extremely well armored. And for a cruiser, Worcester is actually pretty solid. I'm excited to get Worcester. On a quick side note, guys, just to put this out there, I have just got the Conqueror from the Bureau, so that I am excited to try. I want to see how that plays. I've seen videos on it, but I haven't got my hands on it personally. So I'm more of a get my hands on it and see how I'm able to play in it, and see if the juice is worth the squeeze. Okay, it took me a couple months, so let's see if it was worth a couple months of grinding to get it. And shortly behind that, Worcester will be coming, and you see Worcester goes down there, and we get an assistant capture. So we're up to 53,000. We've won our side for the most part. Conqueror's kind of chilling in the very far back in between the A and the B spawn here. So Conqueror is our next target. So you see there, Conqueror is getting pretty much focused by a lot, and yeah, because if you look at the map, A and B cap, there's really not much over here anymore. I don't understand what this team's strategy was, but they have like 5 ships at sea right now. So yeah, maybe in the future, just kind of making a small talking point. If you're on a team and you see that like 95% of your team is going to one cap, it may not be the worst idea, especially if you see that you're going to take that cap, to turn off. You and try to get a couple other guys, maybe turn off, head toward that center cap, and try to get that center cap contested. Excuse me, past tense. Get that center cap contested. So, just a thought on that. But back to Monarchs, both shell types. I personally think that they're fantastic, and you see that they really can hit hard. And this is a legendary game, and that with the super heal, we got in there and we had some engagements with these guys, and it wasn't like we were just chilling in the back hiding. We were up in there, we were tangling with these guys, 10, 11, 12 kilometers, and we're keeping our heavy bow facing in, and we're doing those good things. So in general, I think that if you have Monarch and if you have Nelson, I strongly suggest you give it another look. I know you don't see a lot of them out in the wild, and that I think is because of the options that people had in the past before Nelson as a commander option. And I think people are just kind of stuck with the old narrative that she's more of a trolling ship because you're going to use Madden, and basically she struggles extremely with accurate. Basically struggles to deal damage and be accurate with Madden, which I don't think is incorrect. I really don't. I think that there's a sentiment to it that is correct in my opinion on that. Because when I used to play it and I used to get like 80k, I'd be like, man, that's a good game. And I would be grinding and fighting my tail off to get 80k in this thing. Now, I have this Nelson build, and if I get under 85, 90, I'm like, man, that was kind of a rough game. Or it was not a lot of targets to take a shot at. So basically when your commander options switch and improve, your expectations for the game and for a ship can drastically improve, and the outlook of a ship can drastically improve. So again, you're seeing both shell types here. We're basically sticking it to these guys. Yes, they kind of clumped up here. So, I mean, all we're going to do is we're just going to take our HE because they're bow on, and we're just going to start setting some fires. We're going to use the Great British AP when they give us broadside, and when they're angled in like this, we're going to hit them with the HE. And we're going to use our good solid reload, and we're going to go after these guys. I'm 100% committed to this. I know that I have a very strong bow. I have heals. I have borderline full HP. I'm 4,000 HP shy of full. So I'm preparing to go in here and to go mess some stuff up. Okay, that's what Monarch does very well. You have that heavy hitting AP when you get the broadside. You have HE that is devastating and sets fires and just can really punish decisions and poor play. And then you also match that. I mean, that's 8k with HE. I mean, come on. So then you figure and you match that with a bow like Monarchs, a reload like Monarchs, and you start thinking to yourself, yeah, it's one of the better battleships in the game. And if you disagree with me, I respect your opinion and you're right to disagree, but I legitimately want you to ask yourself a question. What other battleship at Tier 7 has both shell types as effective, okay, has the bow strength that this has, and I mean, legitimately, I'm asking that. If you disagree and you don't think Monarch is one of the better ships at the tier, just kind of go back through your head and kind of think about it a little bit, because To me, I don't think it's really close. Because then even if you have something that does match it, you have nothing that's gonna match the heal power of this thing. I mean, the heal on this thing is disgusting. Legitimately disgusting. So you see here, I have GK on my left. I'm basically trying to angle up to both of them, and you're gonna see that you're actually able to do that pretty well. You guys were bouncing shells from Bismarck. So we switched to the AP, which is a 22 second reload, which again, if I were to tell you that you're going to be fighting tier 7 with ships that are going to reload in 27 seconds, 28, 30, 38 if you're in the Kansas, you might as well put the controller down, go get a soda or a snack, and then come back. You'll have about 10 seconds left to finish your reload on Kansas. When I'm telling you that, you start to see that, oh wow, number one, these shells actually hit pretty well, and number two, they reload pretty quickly. We have the tankiness because of number one, the armor, number two, the super heal. You just kind of starts adding up to a ship that even when it's up tiered, even when you're fighting in a legendary game, you have that ability, that staying power, that punching power. So that first salvo I sent out didn't work out very hot because I basically flubbed the shot. Second one we send out, we get about 20k in damage without a Citadel. That is another thing you're going to notice. You're going to Citadel cruisers at will. Okay, battleships, you're not going to Citadel, but you're going to get a lot of standard penetration damage, so you're going to get a lot of 4k damage. So there's that for you to kind of keep in mind. Okay, again, heal comes back. We're at 19k when I hit that heal button. I'm pretty sure we're going to be around somewhere in the 38s, just as a guess. 36. So, yeah, my guess would be somewhere in that 38 range, but obviously we're taking some HP damage. So, you see here gearing is off to our right. We're trying to basically set up a double strike here, but unfortunately that's not going to end up working out for us because we're going to try to get the rear gun on gearing eventually here. I actually think I send the front guns here initially, which I do. So gearing's turning. I'm trying to get all those guns set on him. And then I look off to my left to go to Bismarck because I was expecting at least one of those to hit. And at that point I go, oh, are you kidding me? I had nine barrels all miss on a, so I was like, all right, whatever. I'm going to try to put the front guns on Bismarck. And then obviously gearing went down. So at that point I was trying to think to myself, all right, if he's still alive, I'm going to use the rear guns on gearing, front guns on Bismarck. And at this point, I'm just trying to hold out as much as I can. I'm trying to fight for the last little bit here. Bismarck's giving me a pretty good angle, so I'm thinking to myself, I might be able to punish him. I might be able to get a pretty heavy shot into him here. And we end up getting a pretty heavy shot. But Bismarck ends up punching us and knocking us out. We were 15, 20 seconds, whatever it was, away from getting our last heal off. If we got that last heal off, that would have been a big win for us. But is what it is. Bismarck was left with a sliver. We ended up getting 165,000 damage, 3 sinkings, and assist cap. So, again, like I said, Monarch, even when you're up tiered, even when you're fighting against legendary tier battleships, give it a look. It is a good ship, okay? So, one of my favorites. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to have a Conqueror video coming out probably Monday. So, be on the lookout for that. And I think I end up with like 2,900 base XP, something like that in this game. So, yeah, 2,900. So, we'll see you guys out on the high seas. Take care.